Yes guys, what is going on? Welcome to episode 31 of the Under-23 Sorare Road to Glory. If you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please consider doing so. And if you do enjoy the video, please always do give it a like. It does really mean a lot to me. Now, we've had some big announcements and some big UI changes this midweek on Sorare. Everything feels like we're gearing up to a massive weekend of football and, of course, you know, on Sorare itself. And yeah, I'm buzzing for it. I'm buzzing to kind of integrate the Road to Glory into that. But first of all, we need to recap last weekend's disappointments. On screen now, you should be able to see Game Week 461's 227.67 points in Second Division Europe. You guys told me that I should have went for, second div, and we did. I listened to you. I think it was the right choice, even though it didn't really work out. But that's not down to you guys, obviously, right? And it's not my fault either. It's obviously the player's fault. I only had 5 cards I could have possibly played. And so, yeah, the only thing I could have got better, really, was the captain choice, which we definitely did get wrong. I thought Clerk would have that in the bag, but they lost 3-2, actually, to Levante. Monchu and Ivan Heel with some really nice AA scores, which I'm really impressed with. Carlos Martin with not much going on. And then Lucas Zidane losing 3-1 to Monchu's team, Valladolid, away from home. I think they had a man sent off really early, though, so that didn't help things, obviously. And yeah, disappointing. What were we? 44 points away from a tier 5. If Zidane doesn't concede 3 and we get our captaincy right, then, those are the fine margins of, between not winning a reward and winning a reward. So yeah, let's get that disappointment out of the way. And now, let's get stuck into what we've got going on in the gallery. Now, for some reason, the Sorare lists on the side here won't let me update the gallery, but we ended up selling that Xander Silva card for, I think it was £13, yeah. But after commissions and whatever, it was £12.35, which leaves us with a balance of £38.43, which is great. Obviously, that is going to really help us kick on next season, when the Road to Glory kicks back off in August time. But before that, we'll definitely be giving away all the limited cards that we have in the gallery, in the Road to Glory gallery, to one of you guys, well, not to one of you, to everyone basically watching the channel and watching the series. So that'll happen in the next sort of 10 weeks or so when the European season comes to an end, basically. So I'm always keeping an eye on who's commenting the most, liking the videos, and just sharing the videos on social medias and stuff. It does go a long way to me knowing, who am I going to be targeting to give a boatload of these cards away. So, gallery hasn't really changed too much. Like I said, we've sold the silver card. I'm just really looking forward to these upcoming, or this upcoming weekend, to be honest, because, like I said, everything is brand new and shiny on Sorare right now. We have the new regions, divisions, or whatever we want to call them. We've got the Premier League, we've got Champion in there, Challenger, Contender, U23, the MLS Special Weekly, of course, All-Star still with us, and the cap modes as well as training. So I've only got 2 goalkeepers this weekend, I think. And as far as our divisions go, so we've got a Contender lineup in Division 3 and in Division 4, because both our keepers, Lucas Zidane and Campos, and of course Camplat, but he doesn't have a game this weekend, but he would be in challenges actually. So yeah, we've got Lucas Zidane and Campos both in Contender. And we could technically field 2 teams there. I haven't really decided yet on what I want to do as far as in-season and classic season. So let me know. We'll obviously go into lineup building, but I will be interested to hear your comments and see your comments, as far as, what you think we should do this weekend. And then challenges, I've got 1 Division 4 lineup, but I don't have a keeper this weekend because Camplat doesn't have a game. So the question is basically, do we play under 23? Do we play Cap 240 still? Or do we go into contenders or, a mixture of both? Obviously, we can't do all 3 because we only have 2 goalkeepers. Going over to play sharper, having a little look at the expected scores and starter predictions. We've got big Timo Becker, top of the list, lads. He's going to make his debut for us this weekend at home. Campos is at 80%. Nice little away fixture for them. Carlos Martin's at 75%, away to Andorra. I'm not really too sure. Well, I did have a look why he's questionable, and, the coach said he took a bit of a knock, so I'm hoping he's back and fit. Larson's at 70%. We've got Griffin Yao at 95% away to St. Truden. We've got Pasalic in there at 70%. We've got Nashville's Jack Mayer in there at 90%. Koulibaly doesn't have predictions. Brooklyn Reigns at 20%. We've got Suso in there at NA. Darlin's at 90%, so we have 2 Darlins to maybe use this weekend. In the Bruges derby, the Late's at 20%. At least he's fit again. Better than him not being fit. Suzuki is always an NA, but they play away to Copenhagen. I don't really fancy them there. Emilio Martinez is at home to Lyon. And then we've got El Karauni away to Feyenoord. And then we have Andrade at 90% with the best matchup according to the expected scores this weekend. We've got Clerk in there at 90%. Ivan Heel's in there, but no starter predictions. Brennan Johnson was at 70% the last time I looked, but he's been downgraded to 60, which is interesting. Nice to keep an eye on that. Lucas Zidane's in there at 95. Monchu at 90. Perfect. Madsen's at 75%, but apparently could be suspended this weekend. So if you do have Madsen, watch out for that one. Mohamed Cham's at 90%. Feels like a new card now having him back and playing well. And then Klein Hansel at 90. So a load of our guys are available. A load of them have a decent amount of good fixtures. Let's get into the lineup builder then and kind of play around with what we can do. So this would be our Contenders in-season team if we went with this. So we could go Zidane or Campos here, but let's just go Zidane. Better fixture for me and at home. Andrade's a triple A, by the way, which is nuts. At home again, which is lovely. Obviously, we do need 4 in-season cards to do this, so I won't be able to play Monchu here because Lucas Zidane is an old-season card. Pasalic has the better fixture for sure, but is away from home. Does lack those peaks, and I'm still not sure if Ivan Heel's going to play this weekend, so I'm going to throw Pasalic in there for now. Carlos Martin's our only hope, basically, up front as a new in-season card, and Big Timo Becker gets in there in the extra position at home, which is a lovely, lovely fixture for him. Got to be captain Andrade. It'd be stupid not to. And that gives us a 77 lineup strength score, which feels fine. I am actually interested to see how many players there are in the Contender in-season Division 3. So we're going to input our team because basically it doesn't show you unless you actually put your team in. So we're going to do that. I'm going to throw just limiteds so it makes it easier for us to see. We've got Andrade, Zidane. Let's go Pasalic, Martin, and Big Timo Becker. We'll captain Andrade. And yeah, I honestly don't have a clue what to expect as far as head count goes, as far as users in the pool. So we've got just over 1,850 in there right now in Division 3. I expect Division 3 and Division 4 at limited level to be the sort of biggest divisions as far as how many users are in there. Division 1 will have less than Division 3 and 4, I imagine. 2 will be relatively bulky as well, I would say, as far as how many players are in there. But I really do expect 3 and 4 to be the bulkiest. And we are in 3. We can view the prize pool as well. They're giving out $120 for first place, and they're paying down to 350 places. And that's $5. So obviously that isn't as good as hitting the middle threshold. If we were to hit the middle threshold, you would get $8 for doing that, or we would get $8 for doing that. But I do think this could be a little bit easier as far as getting into that top 350. If we call it, let's say 2,000 players are in that pool. So 1 in every 5 to 6 users would be getting a reward in Division 3 Contenders in-season limited this weekend. If we say the head count caps off at 2,000, like I said, right now it's just over 1,850. So I think that could be where we play our best lineup this weekend. I want to take advantage of having in-season cards. We were lucky enough to win a few of these, and I think it makes sense to use the in-season Euro utility as long as we can. These cards only have 8 to 10 game weeks left basically of use in the in-season comp, and so it makes sense, I think, just to rinse that as long as we can. And I do fancy ourselves to get into the top 350 with a team like that. Like, fixtures are really good for us this weekend, and I think we need to take advantage of it. So we'll save that lineup then. We could still go into 240. So let's do Campos in 240 then as our keeper. See, the issue is here, we're going to be leaving out a few good players in like Clerk. Like, we're not going to be able to fit Clerk in. I know it shows that Campos isn't going to play, but I'm trusting play sharper on this one because Campos was away with the Spanish under-21s team, I believe, last weekend. He didn't play for Amorbieta, and so, yeah, I think that's why Sorare Data seem to think he won't play this weekend, but I'm sort of betting that he will. All our forwards have very similar L15s, which is quite annoying, actually. Let's go Larson for now at home. I want to play Brennan Johnson, but now he's dropped down to 60%. It does worry me a little bit. I don't know if we're really... I guess we could go Emilio Martinez. That leaves us 48 points. Darlin's 49. Well, that's so annoying. Yuito Suzuki's 43 points. But do we really fancy this team to hit... Like, if we did play Yuito Suzuki, right? He's away. I know he scored. He was unbelievable the game we didn't play him in last week. He scored 3 goals. But the fixture is a lot harder this weekend. Like, does that lineup hit 340 points? I don't think it does, personally. So, I might be a little bit more inclined to go into under 23 limited this weekend. So, we go Campos again. We couldn't use Clerk, of course. Let's throw one of our darlings in. I know it's a tough game, but I do think he'll be pretty busy on duels, tackles 1, and interceptions. Let's go Monchu in midfield. Larson was 70% on Sharper. Griffin Yao was 95%. Larson probably has a lot more... Well, I say that. Griffin Yao has quite a few peaks in his scores, whereas Larson kind of caps off at like 70-odd. But Larson does have the better fixture, so I might be having to go with him. I would like to play Madsen and Yao maybe together, but I don't know what's going on with Madsen. So I think I'm going to go Mohamed Cham and maybe Captain Monchu. He showed us some really good AA game last week. So we're going to stick with him. 61 lineup strength score isn't crazy good, is it really? But you know what we might do? I might play a 4-man cap 240 lineup and maybe just go for the lower threshold. I think sometimes that does or can work. It's not easy to do, but if we have the players, we might as well do it. Let's go Griffin Yao in here. We'll stack him with Madsen. You know, hopefully Madsen doesn't or isn't suspended. And then for the extra position, we'll throw Ivan Heel in there. So that is 16 points below the 240 without a goalkeeper, of course. So that could actually work for us, trying to hit that 270, which would get us $2, I think. And so we're basically aiming for, you know, top 350 in Contender in season limited with, you know, our best lineup. A card in under 23 limited, of course. And then the lowest threshold in 240 with the 4 outfielders. We don't have Campbell playing this weekend. So, yeah, we kind of are forced to do that. Let me know what you think in the comment section of this lineup build. Would you do anything different? I am really going to stick to my guns with the whole in-season thing. I do think we need to take advantage of that. So I am going to go in and input our lineups for under 23 limited. So there's just under 6,000 players in under 23 limited this weekend. Not much has really changed as far as the prize pools or anything there. So let's add our team in. So this is the under 23 team completed. Monchu as captain. Then into cap 240 then. We'll change that to 240. We'll throw a DMP goalkeeper in there. We'll captain Clerk. And that is the 240 lineup ready. And we're going to be trying to hit the 270 points target for the $2. Okay, so our 240 lineup's in. Our under 23 limited lineup is in. And the in-season Division 3 Contender lineup is in on Sorare. I'm absolutely buzzing for this weekend. It is a historical sort of weekend, I think, or game week for Sorare. You know, going into this new version of Sorare, we have all the divisions, we have the multi-entries, we have all the new regions in. And yeah, it really feels like a fresh start. Let me know how you're getting on building your lineups, lads, because I've seen loads of people on Twitter and in the Discords that it's becoming really, really tough for them to understand and know where they want to prioritize their lineup. So let me know in the comment section, lads, your frustrations, because I'm here to sympathize. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great game week. And I shall see you guys in the next episode.